And we are back. Thank you for joining us here today on accessradio.ca on our rock channel. If you are into country, we do have the most opinionated country music DJ in all country music. Over on our country station, we also have Mr. Mellow Lee here that follows me on the rock side, and we have pop as well, but ain't nobody over there. So if you like music and you don't like to listen to people talking, hey, that's cool. You can join us over there. But over here at the rock side, we do things a little bit different. Usually we're a little bit more crazy and, we're making automated and intelligence answer silly questions. So that's the kind of stuff that we do here on Access Radio. But today we're doing a little bit more serious topic. We're talking to Elizabeth Beatty and her daughter, Hailey, with their experience recently with At War for Animals Niagara and their experience at Sentinel Carriages and what happened to Elizabeth after this video was posted as well. So this is coffee with sauerkraut. Girls, if you want to do that, I see you both have coffee there. Yeah, yes. So let's do that. Coffee with sauerkraut. There you go. See? It catches on. All right. So let's take, I will come with you. Oh, so Kingster says he'll come with me to the horses when we go to the barn. Excuse me. He is, as I mentioned, a local, and don't let the name confuse you. He's just a dirty old man. But he knows where to draw the line and not talk dirty to children. That's for sure.
There you go.
Or rude to children like that. So there you go. Let's see what we have here. I apologize. I'm just taking a look here. We're going to get into what happened with your employer that day that that you had left. So what did happen after you left? So you mentioned you went home, you called the police. They didn't show up.
They didn't show up. They
Right.
ended up calling me to do the report.
Okay.
I called the newspaper.
Okay.
I let them know, like, these people are harassing me again. I also went on to my group on Facebook. Like, I have a Facebook group chat that I was in, and I went to them and I told them, like, look, guys, they're harassing us again. Like, this won't stop, right?
Right.
So then they told me also to call the police, and I said, I'm just waiting.
Yeah.
So then after I speak with the police and do my report, and I've spoke with the newspaper and I've spoke with social media already at this point, I received a text message from my employer at 9:47 a.m. that says, well, first he says, hey, come see me when you have a couple of minutes. And I responded at 9 in the morning and I said, I'm sorry, I panicked and I left. I freaked out and I got embarrassed. And then I put a little sad face beside it.
Right.
He goes, don't be embarrassed. Everyone here has your back. Please come back to work. We need you.
Right.
So that made me feel a little bit more better.
Yeah.
I went, washed my face, did my makeup, cried some more, went, washed my face again, did my makeup again.
Right.
Tried to settle down. Drove back to work, went to my desk, tried very hard to contain my feelings and my tears, and I just tried to focus on my job. And within minutes of being there, my manager had pulled me aside and said that we need to go upstairs. And at that point, I went upstairs and I was then let go from the company. I'm not going to really get into details as to what they've said or why I was let go, but I'm sure people can put two and two together. Once I went back to work and was no longer employed with them and had to come home again, I just thought it was really rude of them to kind of entrap me and have me come back to work knowing that I was in a panic state, knowing that I wasn't of sound mind at the moment and that I had these emotions running through me.
Yes. So, I mean, you are correct. And the alternative should have been, if anything, they should have said to you, hey, you know what, take the day off and we'll see you tomorrow.
Yes.
And knowing that the only reason they were bringing you back was to relieve you of your position, right? So,
yes.
Now, when did you start working for them?
I'm actually a new employee with them. I started in January.
Yeah.
I was the receptionist there.
Okay.
And then we had COVID. So then I was off for a little bit of time.
Yeah.
I went back to work, upon returning, I got promoted.
Okay.
They said I was doing a really good job.
Yep.
They thought that I was very good with sales.
Okay.
And they put me in the service department.
Right.
I loved being there. I loved my manager, Dave. He was an awesome person.
Yeah.
I loved the people that I worked with at the front and in the shop. I actually felt that department was a lot better to work for than the front of the company.
Okay.
I actually really enjoyed it there, and I was told that I was doing very well. I had zero training. I've got zero experience in cars, yet I was selling a lot.
Right.
I could say that I was selling more than the people that were there for long periods of time.
Right. So
obviously
you were selling service packages?
Yeah. So if they needed a service 1, 2, or 3, or maybe a GDI or
Right.
some brake work done, they tell me their issue. I'd listen. I'd look into their history and see what they're due for. We'd never try and sell anything that they didn't need. If they wanted something, we'd tell them, like, look, you either do or don't need it. They're very honest that way, I felt.
Right.
And that's one of the reasons why I did like working there. Right.
Yeah.
I felt like we did get the opportunity to help some people with their vehicles. I've personally seen one person there, a customer, literally crying because of the cost of her vehicle. And Tina, one of the representatives there, went out of her way to really help her with her bill.
Right.
And made her feel very happy and content. And just that service alone, I was happy to be a part of that team, to be a part of some people that were caring, right? And then when they were so quick to let me go, I was shocked and I was embarrassed. And yeah, well, you could imagine, right?
Yes. And I mean, like I said, I don't want to get into much of the employer. That's the way that they did that. Some people are saying that's disrespectful or despicable,
yes.
Which is, it is true. And now people have started a what's the word?
Petition?
A petition. Thank
yes.
you.
Yes.
Through change.org, I believe, saying that they want you to get your job back.
Correct.
Okay. Here's my thought on it, and I know it's the same thing with you. If they did hire you back, how embarrassing would that be?
Oh, well, I would feel like they only let me back out of guilt.
Out of guilt,
yes.
Yeah. And not only
and
that,
for their benefit.
Yeah.
Not because they want me, not because I was doing well. I would be too embarrassed, and I'm very embarrassed and ashamed of what happened. That, like I said, that's not how I normally represent myself or my family.
Yeah.
However, I did it out of anger. I did it because somebody was hurting my child, not physically, but emotionally.
Right.
And they're lucky that all they got was a little chirp out of me.
Yeah.
Right.
Yeah.
I mean, things could have went a lot worse. There's been other cases where people have put their hands on them before because they attacked their family.
Yeah.
I took a different approach, and it didn't work out well.
Eddie Spaghetti says Jason likes to target women and children.
Absolutely.
A couple of weeks after going after Hailey, he went after a very pregnant lady and her toddler, who were riding on the carriage. Yes. Jason and his goons made my daughter cry, Jen says as well. So this is not just an isolated incident, obviously. This has been going on for quite a while. As I did mention, there is another YouTube channel out there that has, and the reason why I haven't brought up any of these other YouTube channels is because they're very short clips. And obviously when they're a short clip, it's been edited and it's been edited. They're like 22-second clips, but it is all of Jason and his goons, just going real quick and chirping, swearing, and yelling in general in front of women and children and stuff like that. So Melody says, I want everyone to know that what this group did is not normal human behavior and is not in any way acceptable, which is true.
Yes.
And Mellowly, as the name suggests, he's a hippie. Okay. He's very groovy, but he doesn't want, he's one of these general human beings that doesn't want to harm anybody. Obviously, doesn't want to hurt any animals, but, you know, in your particular case, you're not hurting animals, you're rescuing animals. And yes, they are doing a job, but I'm going to say, I don't speak horse. I'm going to tell you this, you know,
yep.
Pretty sure that the horses don't mind. You know, it doesn't look as if they're aggravated or agitated. I've seen horses stampede and kick and buck and stuff like that. If they didn't like it, that's what they would kind of do, right?
Yeah, they'll show you. They'll tell you.
Yeah, so Jen mentioned the one channel, At War for Animals Debunked. Yes, and you could go on there and you can see a whole bunch of comments from At War for Animals trying to discredit absolutely anything, but they do it in the most illogical way.
Yes.
Now, you have mentioned, I'm trying to stay clean here, but at the same time, this guy's a dirtbag. Yeah. So he is vegan, right?
Apparently, yes.
I'm using air quotes, vegan. And he has a vegan line of food that he sells in the store, correct?
Yes.
so sorry. I want to see if I can put this. How do I share this? Oh, I can only share it that way right now. But anyway, so you got a picture of his Sobeys where he sells his equipment or his food.
Correct, yes.
Product too. They are doing some advertising. And there are 3 horse carriages that I can see in the picture. It might have been.
There's a lot more. There's
might have been a train. It looks like.
There was a train of horses.
There's how many horses pulling this particular? Is that 2 horses on there?
I can't see the photo right now, but yeah.
Yeah, so it looks like 2 horses, 2 big black horses here. So it's like a stagecoach. And is that Jason on?
No.
Okay,
no.
That would be even more funny if it was.
This is just an advertising that I had seen. So
they're advertising for the Sobeys where he sells his vegan products, and it's being pulled by horses. So it's okay and convenient when he's getting his slave money, but not okay and convenient when everybody else is getting their slave money. And I'm using air quotes. I realize that people can't see that as I do it. But there's also pictures of this guy going around of him eating meat.
Oh, yeah.
So he claims to be vegan, but there's pictures of him eating turkey drumsticks.
It's not like a little...
No, it's not. It's not a small piece of meat either. It's not tofurkey. No. Yeah. This is a full-on chicken.
It's like bigger than his head.
Turkey drumstick.
Yeah, it's literally bigger than his head.
Yeah, and he's right into it. And the person he's with as well got sauce all over their face by the looks of it.
Yeah.
And both of them seem to be enjoying that meat from that turkey, which I will tell you this much. I'm not a vegan. I'm not a vegetarian. And our friends that listen to the show know my opinions on vegans and whatnot, and we're not going to get into that. But I will tell you this much, that when that turkey gave his life for Jason, he didn't appreciate it. He didn't like that. At all. Right.
Yeah.
I'm just going to point that out, Mr. King. When you did eat that turkey, it did not enjoy it.
No.
And that's where I'm not going to touch base on that anymore. So what is next for you? Let me ask you a question first off, Hailey, because this is something that I might be able to help you with one of our sponsors. Would your employer be okay with you wearing a body camera?
I have one, yeah.
You have a body camera?
Yeah.
Okay, because I noticed that you were taking pictures and videos with your...
Yeah, we just got one recently.
Okay, and your employer is okay with you wearing that?
Oh, yeah.
They encourage it.
They're not going to complain about that? Okay.
No, they encourage it.
Now, the Prince of Wales, there was one guy there, that employee there, who was upset about everything that was going on because there was a lot of commotion that day. It was loud. not just you, it was them. And you agreed with him. I apologize, and you tried to tone it down a little bit, but Jason said, it's not my effing problem.
Yes.
Right. So guys, we're in a pandemic. Okay. There are, he's a commanding officer for Sea Cadets.
Yeah, I noticed he is or was a part of the cadets and was let go, I believe.
Oh, okay. Well, that's good. It says boycott Sobeys. Ah, interesting. Yeah. Well, of course, it's the Sea Cadets and not the Air Cadets because he can't. Anyways, never mind. I won't make fun of the guppies. But anyways, boycott Sobeys. Somebody is saying right now. It's insane how he does, and he does not see the hypocrisy. Hypocritical much is he. Mellow Lee, the artist, he thinks he is so much better than everyone else.
Yes.
Which is true. That's from Eddie Spaghetti. I like the name, by the way.
That's one of the horses' names.
It's one of the horses' names?
Yeah, Eddie Spaghetti.
And then you have George the Englishman. Is that one of the horses' names too?
No.
Oh, okay.
No.
What about Vinny the Englishman?
No.
Okay, because both of them are on here. Yes, okay. So Eddie Spaghetti, that's funny. I always said that if I was to get a horse, I would name it Hoof. Hoof. And then the last name Hearted.
Farted.
Yes,
Aw.
who farted.
Oh gosh.
But I'm ching. Yes. Rumor has it he's back in cadets. Well, that's unfortunate. That guy should be nowhere near children.
Absolutely.
According to recent information, he seems to be still part of the Sea Cadets. Yeah, no, that's definitely something that should not be. This guy should be really, again, until he has some sort of mental certificate clearance or something, you know, that you can't coach sports without getting some sort of special certification. And, you know, this kind of stuff shows that he can't be in public. If you are a commanding officer of the Sea Cadets, like they're saying, you need to be, your public perception has to be at all times, regardless if you are, because now your children that you are in charge of are watching this and then seeing this as acceptable behavior.
Yes.
And that is not acceptable behavior on any means. And that's why they should be there. So, Vinny got kicked out and he had to rename. That's why he changed it from George the Englishman to Vinny the Englishman. All right. But yes, so there's quite a bit to get out there, and that definitely the Sea Cadets in London, I'm assuming, is where he's commanding officer.
I can't confirm that. I have no idea.
I would imagine that. Now, not that I would go out of my way to try to get this guy fired by any means. Sorry. He has 4 kids too, I just read.
Yes. Yep.
So I knew that he had 1.
Those poor kids.
Yeah, I mean, especially the way that he talks to women. I knew that 1 was a girl, 9 years old, if I'm not mistaken.
I think they're all girls, if I'm not mistaken. He has 4 girls.
And he talks like this.
Probably why he's divorced. Just guessing. I don't know.
Well, that would be a good guess. What was the name of the person? Sorry, I'm just adjusting the camera here, guys. You're going to see that on the replay, but not here. It just seems to be moving around. There we go. That's a little bit better. There you go. So he's divorced. What was the name of the girl that sent the email again?
Shelley Johns.
Shelley Johns.
Yes.
That's correct. Okay.
And she's from Essex, and she's a vegan.
She's from Essex and a vegan.
Yes, apparently. That's what I'm getting right now.
Okay. Well, Essex is just outside of London. I mean, Exeter, Essex, sorry, is the whole same kind of area. Jen says it was Jason King. Which guy is the Sea commanding officer? Jason King.
Jason King, yeah.
Okay. 13 is his youngest. They're all girls. Okay. So you guys have some information. I don't need to tell you about that. So apparently, you guys already know that. So, crazy altogether. And you know, how would he feel if some creep just walked up to his daughter on the street and started berating her and screaming and yelling at her. Probably no different than you felt. The only difference is that he would probably, you know, instead of just verbally assaulting somebody. And now, again, he had a body camera on, correct?
Yes.
So therefore,
you're watching your moves. You know you're being recorded.
And they put a video out there, by the way, and he said that, first off, what did he say in response? They said it was unedited. The video was edited.
Yeah.
And there's a whole section from 25 minutes to 29 minutes where they've taken out the audio altogether. So during that 3 minutes, they had some sort of conversation. And then when they came back, they're like, great, you do it. And that was it.
Yes.
So we don't know. And then, like I said, after that, they did some more crazy stuff. But they were talking about something during that 3 minutes that they knew that was incriminating. So yes, they left the video footage, but they cut the audio.
Yep.
Just to make it look as if they weren't doing anything, which is crazy when you think about it. They also edited it by putting, they didn't put the full video on there. He says we put the full video on. They didn't. No. And then he defends it by saying, well, there was over 5 hours of video. Put it out as 5 videos.
Baloney, because I was there for less than an hour, or I was there for an hour.
Yeah, and that's how long this video is. It's 59 minutes, the video, and that explains it, right? That's why it stopped. But he says, oh, there's over 5 hours of video footage, and that's why we only put this portion in here, or else you just see us standing around doing nothing, which is not true.
Yeah.
During this 59 minutes, by the way, I saw 3 dogs walk by and leashed, and the owner is there, and Jason didn't say anything to the owners.
No.
So why wouldn't he say anything to them for enslaving their dogs if that's his thing? Why wouldn't he say anything to them? But it's not okay to have the horses. Is there a difference between the horses being enslaved and dogs being enslaved?
Well, I can't speak for him on what he thinks and why he didn't react. However, I can tell you that I personally think that it's because if he's going after all animals, then he won't have a single supporter.
Whereas he's going to lose some support, right?
Yes. Whereas if he makes it look like it's just about the horses and their well-being, then he might have some support from people, right? But once they find out what kind of lunatic he really is, then they realize and they leave.
Yeah.
Or they take a carriage ride.
Right. Yeah, and that's the thing. I mean, support local businesses. We're not going to get into like the cost of this stuff. Do you guys give discounts for locals?
Most time, yeah.
Okay, so I mean, there you guys go. Tell them you're local. Tell them you heard them here on accessradio.ca. And excuse me, on coffee with sauerkraut. There you go. And yeah, you guys are actually getting the real media coverage. They don't get much media coverage other than these idiots showed up and then they put it in the newspaper, but it's always somebody there's a reason why they're getting it. It's never positive publicity, but these guys also know there's no such thing as negative publicity. And Donald Trump is proof of that. You know, so they bring leashed dogs to protest in Niagara-on-the-Lake as well. So again, I don't understand this, because if you actually talk about them, here's what they, because they distance themselves from PETA, right? PETA, ethical treatment of animals. These guys say, we're not PETA, we're not anything like PETA. And the reason why PETA wants ethical treatment of animals, they want all animals to be freed. They want them to be free from enslavement. Now, they say, this is their workaround. They say, well, we don't own animals. What is the word that they use instead of saying that they own them? I can't remember the word offhand. But anyways, long story short, he says that it's okay because they don't own animals. They just take care of them or something like that.
They say it's their brothers or their sisters.
Right. And they also say that cats, dogs, horses, and, well, all animals are human beings.
Yeah.
Which, again, there's the animal kingdom. We understand there's a difference between humans and animals. Do they have brains? Yes. Do they have feelings? Yes. Are they human beings? I would say no.
No.
That's just my opinion. So he says, no, I have proof they're not connected to PETA and direct action everywhere. Yeah. They love to lie. Yes, of course they do. I'm glad this real story is getting out. Well, of course. Well, we got to make sure that the real story does get out, because other than that, you're just going to see these snippets that these guys have talking. And if you are wondering where we're getting this conversation from, over at our chat, www.accessradio.ca, go to the Rock Station channel, push the play button, you can hear us talking, and you can join that chat as well. They're guardians of the animals. That's what they say. Yes, they say that they're guardians, not owners, which is just semantics, whatever. Yes, these are not their children. These are actual animals that they have purchased at some point, which means that they bought, which means that they own them. Even if they got them from a rescue, there's paperwork, there's stuff that has to be paid. They at some point had purchased an animal, and it's no different than you and me getting a dog or a cat or something like that.
Yeah, we have a rescue dog. We still had to pay for him, but he's a rescue.
Have your pets spayed or neutered. I just wanted to say that.
Yes.
And your unruly protesters as well.
Yes, yeah.
All right. They are not human beings. It is exactly the same way that a cat is different from a dog. Yeah, exactly. It's a dog. Well, I mean, unless your cat is gender confused, which is possible. I guess it might think it's a dog. But definitely something. There is something there, but like I said, I wouldn't say that they are human beings by any stretch of the imagination, and I just think that they have to say something to try to get their point across, and that's very sad. All right, so what, after you got canned, for lack of a better word, what happened after that?
That's when I had received that text message from one of my bosses telling me to come back, that they didn't care. And then I came back, and like I said, that's when I was then let go. Yeah,
so you signed the paperwork, you were let go. How many people reached out to you?
I had a few people reach out to me on Messenger. But there's been apparently a lot more feedback on Facebook, on these group chats. Apparently people have been calling Hyundai. I actually had no idea about that. The day that I got fired was the day that I was booking my vacation for the next day to go away for a week. So we went away.
So when I contacted you, you were away.
Yes. So I really didn't have any reception, because I was in the middle of a forest. The only time I had reception is when I went into town, so we wouldn't go very often. But when I did, I'd quickly try and search what I could, and I would see people just defending me and standing up for us and saying that what I did was right, that what Hyundai did was wrong. I've seen comments where people are saying that they're going to go into the dealership where I was employed. They're going to make it look like they want to buy a car, waste their time, and then say, oh, was Liz Beatty the one that worked here? And once they say yes, then they're going to walk out. As much as I love the supports, I truly, truly do. Those sales representatives or employees had nothing to do with it. We don't deserve to waste their time.
Their livelihood as well.
Yes.
So it used to pass there daily. But Auto Value Hyundai, you're right. It's the management that was the issue, not the sales reps. And the sales reps, this is most likely are being paid commission. When you're on commission, this is your only source of income.
Exactly.
This is very, very difficult. And this is why, for example, in your case, you were promoted to service. You still had to work another job just in case, because you have the, you need the stability just in case, like things that go bad. I need some sort of stable income, and then this could be much better, obviously, or it could be much worse. But
most families have two incomes, one from mom, one from dad. I'm a single mother. So I bring in 2 incomes still.
Yeah.
But that's because I work 2 jobs, right? I'm a hard worker. I'm not somebody that slacks. I'm not somebody that looks for a handout or anything like that. I'm a hard worker. I enjoy working. I enjoy going to work every day.
Yeah.
So.
Yes. So